Now that you've created a dashboard, Tableau lets you add lots of rich, flexible interactivity to bring even more value to your viewer. Do this with dashboard actions. The first type of action is a highlight action. This will highlight related marks in other sheets on the dashboard based on a sheet you choose. Here, I want different states on the map to be highlighted based on the region I choose on the pie chart. So, I'll display the Actions dialog and add a new Highlight action. I'll give it an appropriate name and choose to execute the action when I hover over a pie wedge. Highlight actions are probably the only actions that you should consider with hover. I only want this action to work when I highlight a pie wedge, so the only source sheet I'll select is Region % Breakdown. And the only worksheet I want to highlight based on the pie wedge is the map, so the only target sheet I'll select is Customer Counts by State. Now, when I hover my mouse over a pie wedge, only matching states in that region on the map are highlighted. Now, I want to create drill-down behavior for the crosstab. When I click on a state in the map, I want only customers from that state to appear in the crosstab. This requires a filter action, where one sheet is filtered based on selections made in another sheet. Again, from the Actions dialog, I'll create a new action. Choose Filter, and give the action a meaningful name. I want the action to happen when I select a mark. Since I want the map to start the action, and the crosstab to be filtered, I'll only choose those as source and target sheets. There are two other options I'll need to consider here. If I control-click on more than one state, I do want the crosstab to show multiple states, so I'll leave this option unchecked. If I only wanted to filter on single clicks, I'd check it. And when I clear selections on the map, I need to decide what happens on the crosstab. Since the crosstab is acting as my drill-down target for the map, when nothing's selected, I'd like the crosstab to not show anything. So I'll choose Exclude All Values. Now, when I click one or more states on the map, the crosstab shows only those customers. And when I clear my map selections, the crosstab is empty. Another kind of filter action actually navigates to a different sheet or dashboard. In this case, I'd like my back button visualization to navigate to another dashboard. So, I'll create a new filter action. I want the action to occur when I click on the arrow, so I'll choose Select. And I'll give the action a meaningful name. Now, as you might expect, the source sheet will be the navigation arrow. But the target sheet can be an entirely different dashboard. I'll make that choice in the Target Sheets drop-down. That's the key to a navigation filter action. Now, when I click the arrow, Tableau navigates to the other dashboard. A URL action will launch a web page. If I have a web page embedded in my dashboard, the URL action will change that web page. But in this case, a URL action will launch a separate web browser. Here, I think I'd like to do a Google search on a customer when I select them in the crosstab. So, I'll create a new action and choose URL. I'll run the action from the sheet's context menu or tooltip. I'm even going to include the selected customer in the name of the action. So I'll choose Customer Name from the context menu. I'll check the crosstab as the source sheet. I've already tested a search to see how Google forms a URL. I'll paste that into the URL box and replace the specific search value in my pasted URL with the value of the current customer name. Now, when I right-click on the crosstab or hover my mouse over a value, I have the option to search on that customer. When I make that choice, a web browser launches with a custom search for my chosen customer. Dashboard actions add the final touch of interactivity and flexibility to your Tableau dashboards.